Mortal Shell, Session 2. So, yeah. Second play... Well, not second session of playing the game, and, instead of making more progress in this new area that I, got to at near the end of the last session, I'll be going back to, Fulgrim? Yeah, Fulgrim. The initial area, because there's still plenty of things to check out. Lots of these instincts from the bodies in that crypt, as well as the places where the weapons are stored in that one like hub area. So yeah, still need to clear out that area before I feel like making more progress in this new area, which also gives me this vibe of maybe actually being the central area. Maybe this will be the place where I'll be transported to other worlds. I don't know. I actually don't know the scope of this game, except that it's, you know, relatively small. So maybe it is like a thing instead of like a central area that leads to other areas. But yeah, guess we'll find out soon enough. So I'm gonna just get back to it. So I know there are upgrades to the weapon, my initial weapon, the hollowed sword, and other shells, I believe, because this shell is the one that I just got before I entered this area. Also, from watching the recording, I now remember that when the thing on my back glows, the thing that I used to actually parry, it glows right before an attack that is unparryable. Like the tutorial for it did say that. Because yeah, as the session went on last time, I was thinking, oh, it is like an indication of when I should be hitting the parry button. But no, it was actually the complete opposite. It's telling me, oh no, you can't parry that attack. So yeah, good to keep that in mind. All right, so yeah, actually, you know what? I guess let me just check out this area past this little entrance here. I did peek around a bit before I ended the last session, but let's see if I can actually get anywhere. If I can, then I'll head back. But if it's like, oh, I just need to hit that, like that pedestal over there in the distance, and maybe trigger something, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, this place looks like it's a whole deal, so I've done as much exploration as I want to do right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head back to Fulgrim, and just clear out that area first. I feel like I'll be getting, you know, more resources. Although it does not feel like this game has like it doesn't have the same like leveling system as, you know, the Souls games and all the other Souls likes that follow that leveling, that RPG format. At least, yeah, when it comes to leveling your character, I feel like, yeah, you unlock abilities and you just unlock shells, which are different builds and I guess different weapons, right? But they feel like they're stats wise, they might all just have their set stats, I guess. Yeah, I have a feeling that's gonna be it. Like if I were to bring up the shell menu right now and compare this current shell, which feels like it's much tankier, but it has less stamina, I think, compared to the default one. The default one is like just a jack of all trades kind of shell. Yeah. See, I'm missing one in between. Yeah, Arrows, Eredrim. Yeah, I think. Yeah, these two other shells are in this area right now. I wonder if that's it, or there are other shells in the other areas. Maybe there will be. Like this starting area, I guess, is the one where you know, choose which one you want to play as for the most part. Or yeah, I guess, yeah, you know, you have different, you have choices. Pressing L1 and R1 in these sub menus has to be L2 and R2. Yeah. Eredrim the Venerable. Yeah, durability all the way to the max. Stamina and resolve are lower. Oh, you can't switch between different shells through the L2 and R2 buttons. You have to go back and then do this. Okay. But I can't switch to a different shell through this menu. Like, I can only look at the shells, the shell types, but I can't actually switch to them. I think I need to use a specific item. Yeah, I think I have these items that allow me to switch between different shells. But maybe I can do that in like a hub area, or when I talk to that lady, the mysterious lady. Maybe she can let me do that. Let me change when I'm not just, you know, going around the world. Yeah, these vestments. Effigy of Harrows. This one will... Oh, but this is has infinite use compared to this one. Effigy of Eredrim. Yeah. Cannot this use the shells already inhabited. Yep. Shells unknown. Yeah. But what about this though? What does this do? Oops. There it is. Oh, wait, no, I accidentally switched to... Well, whatever, that's fine. Oh, summons the hollowed sword. Oh, so, okay. That's how you switch weapons. So now I'm I've switched back to the hollowed sword. How do I switch back to... Oh, okay. So I need to find whatever item it is that lets me switch to the hammer and chisel. I did not find that yet. You know what? It's fine. Let's go back to the default weapon. Because I feel like I have more... Yeah, definitely more experience with that, for sure. And with the default shell as well. Yeah. It is back. We're back to the starting area anyway, so... Okay.
Sip this. Sip this. Sip this.
I was given a choice. To kneel before the executioner's axe, or the queen. An easy choice. For years I wore her sigil, repeated all the oaths. But I always knew one day, no matter how many honors were bestowed upon me, I would escape.
I've kept your flesh safe, foundling. I've kept your flesh safe, foundling. I've kept your flesh safe, foundling.
Well, shall we? I'll gladly accept any tar as payment.
Yes, slowly. I've kept your flesh safe, foundling. You've kept me waiting, Foundling. Do not worry. 'Tis only a jest. This path ahead is littered with monuments to suffering. Thought I might lighten the mood. Not that I've ever had much talent for humor. I once knew a man who took the sacrament of ashes. He laughed all the time. Now I'm rambling like an old crone. You're here for another sip, aren't you?
I don't know if this is just gonna be like all the boss fights, but I guess specifically for that guy, I fought him twice now. And then I guess for the third time, well, you know, many more times actually. But I mean, for like that was the second time I've beaten him. First time was the tutorial, but those have been the real. I guess yeah, like 2 out of the 3 boss fights. Because there's that other boss fight where I bailed for now, fought that beast. Yeah, I feel like really rubbing up against at least, you know, again, because it's only been this guy over and over again, Hattern. I guess he has different movesets because of you know, the different weapons that he's been wielding, but this might be the most obnoxious boss design I've encountered in any of these types of games, Souls games and Souls likes in particular. It doesn't feel good. In fact, it just feels kind of ass. The way they almost always instantly counterattack you after hitting them, after they do their big string, and the way that it doesn't feel like the game gives you a lot of openings to really keep a pace where it doesn't get ground down to that kind of pace where I eventually just decided to settle on, because yeah, the way they just immediately counterattack almost for like any kind of attack, any combo, any attack string that they do, they can just immediately like get into a counterattack. And the way that when you're hardening to obviously to mitigate any damage that is gonna come your way, it feels like when they flinch from hitting you while you're hardened, like the animation, like they quickly transition out of that like very slight stun animation from hitting you when you're hardened into going straight into a counterattack, which has incentivized me to adopt that playstyle that I just that I was doing to eventually grind down that fight. And it just doesn't feel good. Like the rhythm for it just feels bad. It just, everything just feels so slow in a way that doesn't feel satisfying because of how, like, yeah, like somehow like the transition for the animations feel very jank, not in a fun way. And yeah, it like, I feel like with the hardening mechanic, my idea for it is that you want to you want to, like, the goal, I think, or at least what I had in mind with it, is to, you know, keep you within that that range, right? To want to absorb blows. But yeah, the way that after even deflecting an enemy attack, you think, oh yeah, this is your opening to strike back, and you do get to strike back, but then you immediately get counter hit by the boss. At least for this guy, consistently does that thing where, yeah, you deflect their attack with your harden, you hit them back because they're, you know, they flinch, but then they immediately counter attack, which yeah, it feels like I can't do anything about it because you are still stuck in that recovery animation, and they just instantly, like the snap of a, you know, like, yeah, a fucking finger, they just get back right at you. And with the default shell that I had, like, I was just taking too much damage. I couldn't really keep up with that. And even with this shell that I'm using right now, which has like max durability, like with the highest amounts of hit points, I really still couldn't keep that pace going where I stay right in front of them. So it just really felt like this very, very artificial way of doing these boss fights, where I'm like running in to trigger their animation to attack, and then, yeah, let them do their whole thing, and yeah, get in like one hit, and then depending on whatever they do, I either harden or just roll out immediately. And it doesn't feel great feels terrible. And for some arbitrary reason, the item that lets you that should let you warp out back to this lady here, that mask thing, it doesn't work in there. Maybe there's like some lore reason, but mechanically though, it feels very arbitrary. And the fact that you when you go into these sites, like you're locked in there, and because when I started that, I felt like, oh, the reason that I stopped fighting that other boss is because everything about it, like, again, I was also kind of feeling the same way, and feel like I'm not really doing a lot of damage. I feel like, oh, I need to go to other places first to increase my power, because like I don't mind like learning attack patterns to dodge, but when it's just the same set of attacks and I'm just like whittling away at the enemy, I feel like, oh, I need to find a way to become stronger. And like I know that I need to get like quenching acid or something to upgrade my weapon, which I'm presuming that'll allow me to do more damage. That was like the whole point for me of going to different places. Did not know that I was gonna go to another area with this path, and I did not know that I was also gonna get locked into that fight. So I thought the initial idea was to get out of there using this mask, right? Just to let me do that. But even at the cost of my glimpses, which I've already lost. Yeah, I already lost all those glimpses, so it didn't even matter. And yeah, for some arbitrary reason, you can't do that. The only way to do that is because I thought like, oh, I am getting all of these what do you call this, tar, right, as the currency, because I need 2,500 to get that quenching acid from that merchant so that I can upgrade my weapon. So it's like, crap, I don't want to, because I don't like grinding, and like enemies drop like 50, 100, so it's like it'll take quite a while just going around, and it's also not, I'm also kind of been fighting the same enemies over and over. Not much of variety to them. And yeah, like I wanted to get out of that fight because I didn't want to because it felt like, oh, I'm stuck here and it doesn't feel great fighting this guy. I don't want to fight him right now. Like the whole reason for me avoiding the other boss was to level up, or find a way to upgrade my weapon, do more damage. So I wanted out, but I couldn't do it with the mask, and with that fish, like it only gives you that prompt at the very beginning of the encounter, and if you die, the tar that you have on you, your souls, stick with the shell that was left behind. So I have to, like if I were to portal out with a fish, I'd leave those that tar behind, which is like my whole reason for I want to accumulate more tar so that I can get that upgrade material. So it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want. That's 2,000. So yeah, a lot of that just did not feel great. Yeah, I'm really starting to see, and also I'm also kind of baffled at this other design decision to limit your healing to, at least so far, to these consumables that you just randomly, well, not randomly, they are in set locations that you pick up, but yeah, and they do respawn, but it takes quite a while, and they're very limited so far. So yeah, like there doesn't seem to be any equivalent of like an Estus flask or anything. So they went with the Demon Soul / Bloodborne equivalent of having you find these consumables to heal up. So it also, at least for now, disincentivizes me to want to keep going through these fights, because yeah, you're going into them with like no healing or very limited healing. Have to go around to get them. So yeah, like coupled with all of the other design decisions so far, it's like I don't know if I'm enjoying this. these boss fights at the very least. So yeah. Okay, well, I beat him, so we got a new weapon, right? It's got to be it, right? It's the whole thing. Yeah, from this statue, because that's how this pattern is showing now with from the beginning, right? Well, I guess you didn't have to beat pattern. You get the sword, but that's been the case with the chisel and now with the smoldering mace. Yeah, and I was going here, maybe, oh, it was gonna be a thing where I get material for upgrade my sword, but no, it really is just a different weapon. Although, yeah, I'm seeing now, like, all those different instincts are for, like, different weapons. So I don't know where to get the item to make the weapon that I have right now stronger. I don't know, maybe I have to go, maybe I'll find them in set locations, right? Like, I have to beat boss, like, the way I've been beating, these other bosses to get these new weapons. Thought I was gonna find another shell here, but I don't know. Cause yeah, the reason that I went through this place is, was it reason? Forget. Yeah, it's to find other shells. Yeah, seemed to be the case here. Yeah, I haven't found any of these weapon enhancements yet, these upgrades. You know, quenching acid, strength, yep. I haven't found any of these yet. Maybe, yeah, no, I guess the quenching acid I could buy from the merchant, and it's very expensive though. So, yeah, I'm starting to see, like, yeah, how maybe the game really is limiting your ability to power up. I don't know. Yeah, we're seeing the limits of it right now, at least. I don't know. I'm gonna poke around a bit here, but I think I'll still go back to Fulgrim and get the rest of the stuff from the instincts. And I want to get another shell. Yeah. And yeah, maybe I'll get that quenching acid from the merchant.
Sip this and you'll see. Yes, taste I see. Yes, taste.
I'm afraid I have little to offer you without a plan to prepare. Welcome, shall we? Surely there's something you'll fancy amongst my collection. Well, shall we? Surely there's something you'll fancy amongst my collection.
Sip this. I've kept your flesh safe, foundling. I've kept your flesh safe, foundling. Sip this and you'll see.
Existence is a curious matter. The greatest triumph in the universe, gifted and squandered. I shan't make the same mistakes as my brother. When the moment comes, I'll exercise restraint.
Yes, slowly now. I have no desire to initiate the unwilling.
All right. That's gonna be enough moral shell for this session. Going on for 2 hours. Yeah, we did some stuff. We got a new shell. Solomon looks interesting. Stats are also interesting, and also I guess comparing the stats with Solomon and I guess with the default one, this just seems to be better all around. I guess maybe the difference will be the abilities, but yeah, at this point in the game, I feel like not really gonna be feeling any of those abilities effects, because yeah, they're all kind of expensive. Everything's a bit expensive so far, and yeah, I got a new weapon, got a new shell, killed a couple of bosses, so there's been progress. But yeah, there's still 2 more things to get here at Fulgrim, so that's gonna be the thing for the objective for the next session. I did get the upgrade, I guess, for the sword, I guess for the weapon ability, and yeah, for the mace, where I just went to that area where I did just get the weapon, the mace, and I did a little peeking around to get the upgrade for that. Maybe, actually, probably the thing for the chisel, and the chisel weapon. Maybe its weapon upgrade is in the area where I found it. Probably makes sense, like some logical sense. But there's just like some sort of puzzle thing going on there first. I don't know. The progression for this game doesn't seem to be very clear. Does feel like you're just, you know, yeah. You got choices, but I haven't felt like a real good pace, a good sense of like the progression. I don't know if yeah, I didn't even use the upgrade material to improve my sword when I fought that other boss. I mean, it's doable, but I don't know if I'm making it harder for myself. Typically at this point, right, like 4 hours to a game, like I have some idea of like the progression of these types of games, but not quite feeling it in this one. So yeah, another session in this area, looking for the one last shell and the one last weapon. I don't know. Feeling mixed feelings. I guess I'm now seeing why people weren't in love with this game. Because yeah, I don't know. And it's not like I don't know, not like with I guess I'm thinking about the other games that are Souls likes, or just Souls that aren't as super clear regarding the progression of the game, like give you different spokes to explore, like yeah, with Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, and even Elden Ring to an extent. At least looking at different places, it's more apparent, like the differences between the areas you can immediately check out from the beginning of the game. It can immediately tell you, okay, yeah, this place is like either too tough for you, or if it's like a Demon Souls situation where you have kind of freedom to go through most of the earlier levels, depending on whichever world you pick. Although, of course, you are forced to go through the first level in Boletaria, like that is forced upon you. But for like the other areas, like they're kind of like some semblance of difficulty in that you can tackle them. Well, I guess now that I think about it, not really. You don't really want to go through 1.5 or even 1.4 as your as the place you want to go to immediately after finishing 1.1. So yeah, and I'm thinking of Dark Souls 2 with the Forest of the Fallen Giants and what is Hades Tower, Hades Flame Tower, something like that, and then like No Man's Wharf. Like it's very immediately obvious though that the Forest of the Fallen Giants is where you want to go through. And then yeah, with Elden Ring also, you just have more freedom. And also, like, the thing with all those games is that every other area you visit is, like, immediately distinct. Yeah. Well, I'm still in this one area for the most part, 4 hours in. Going into, like, another couple of hours. Still just this area, and then I've, you know, taken a peek at the other areas, but, yeah. I don't know. I'm not, like, yeah, I can confidently, as confident as I can say right now that I'm not like 100% vibing with the game so far. Yeah, like I already said my piece about the boss encounters. Yeah, and the way kind of incentivized to really, you want to really make use of your hardened ability, but that's like on a not insignificant cooldown, so it's a lot of like, oh, just on top of waiting for your stamina to regen, you're also waiting for that thing to regen, so it just slows so many things down, those boss battles, in a way that doesn't, I don't know, feel quite enjoyable, especially considering the two bosses that I fought, which is the same, like Pattern or whatever the fuck his name is. Their moveset, like the way they react very quickly. Yeah. And anyway, I will still play this. I will keep playing it. I will finish it probably, unless I do get to a point where like I'm just actually frustrated with the game. There's a little bit of that, but it hasn't gone all the way to the point where, oh, I'm done. I still want to see it through. So yeah, we'll keep playing this for now. Yeah, that's Mortal Shell. This second session. But yeah, I'm also still not quite sure how it is that I lost those glimpses. I think I lost some glimpses after a fight. I don't know. Is it because if you don't get to your shell and you die, so there's like two ways you can, like there's two currencies, right? There's the tar and the glimpses. And you lose tar if you don't get to your shell. Once you die. Well, if you die once, and if you don't get to your shell, you lose your glimpse. I think that's what happened. I'm gonna have to look at the recording. Anyway, yeah, it's just these more of these mechanics that I don't know. Just definitely adding more to the friction of the game. But yeah, that's it for this session of Mortal Shell.